Hey, what's up guys? In this video we're going to look at this Logitech's latest keyboards called G815. Highlights on this particular keyboards includes low profile switches, as you can see, and a very sleek design. The question is though, is it any good and should you buy it? Let's have a look at it. Let's dig into it. Alright, so let's start by having a look and see what's inside. By the way, at any time during the video, feel free to check out the keyboard on Amazon, where you find more in-depth details and more specific details, I guess. And you find that link down below. Apart from the keyboard itself, you're getting some instructions as well as a nice looking sticker, but that's about it. Now, as you can see, the cord itself is actually very thick, which is a bit unfortunate. It's gonna make cable routing a bit more complicated, and because we're getting a USB pass-through, you're gonna need at least 2 available USB ports in order to use the pass-through. Before we start looking at the nitty-gritty details, I wanted to give you guys my thoughts after I've been using this for 2 weeks now. This keyboard is actually very wide, so you need to be aware of that compared to 60 keyboards. Yeah, as you can see, there's quite a difference here. Also, the keycaps are actually very slippery. Gonna talk more about that in a second. It is also very thin, probably the thinnest keyboard I've tried to this day, because of the aluminum alloy makes it also very sturdy. And I thought the whole aluminum thing on the top was a one single piece. If you flip the keyboard around, you find that the back is actually plastic, which made me a bit disappointed. The keys are also a bit wobbly. It's not a deal breaker in any way, but it's something that I noticed pretty quickly. Also, the keys has a very short travel distance. It's a mix between Cherry MX Speed and Cherry MX Brown, I would say, but we're obviously gonna talk more about that in a second. As for the switches, Logitech is offering 3 different. We got the Roma G Tactile, the Linear, and the Clicky. I chose the Tactile, and the keys definitely feels a bit mushy, but we're gonna talk more about that in a second. Also, the first question I asked myself, are the keycaps double shot? And the answer is unfortunately not. Logitech went with a very sleek, clear and blank keys with a black paint over the top, making them very smooth, but unfortunately incredibly slippery. Custom keycaps is unfortunately not an option either, as the mechanical switches uses a special fitting that I actually haven't seen before. It is a bit unfortunate. I like being able to customize my keyboard with special keycaps, making the keyboard feel a bit more personal, but here you are unfortunately left in the dark. If you are a bit unsure whether you're gonna like these slippery keycaps or not, I would definitely recommend you to try and see if we can find them in a local shop and try them out first. Let's look at the full specifications. So in terms of physical specifications, it's actually pretty long, as you can see, and compared to the AnyPro 2, well, there is a slight difference here. In terms of switches, we're looking at low profile GL switches. The actuation distance is 1.5 millimeters, so it's essentially a mix between Cherry MX Brown and MX Speed. MX Speed has the actuation at 1.2, and Cherry MX Brown activates at 2 millimeters. The actuation force is 45 grams and the total distance is 3 millimeters. Now, in terms of appearance, it's very nice to look at, and it does look very expensive in my opinion. The dedicated media buttons are also very nice and is a refreshing ad that I haven't seen in a while. The volume wheel has a very nice touch to it. It is not plastic either, which was a surprise to me. Unfortunately, it definitely lacks resistance, which is a bummer, but thanks to it being located on the upper right side corner, it's not like you're gonna accidentally touch it anyways, so in the end of the day, it's not a problem. Having dedicated media buttons is so nice, and it's something that I've been missing on my AnyPro. And yes, I know that you can make up your own keybinds and get media functionality on the AnyPro too, but yeah, that's not the point. I'm a simple man, I like dedicated media buttons. I see a volume dial, I want to scroll it. But what about the low profile mechanical switches then? So again, Logitech offers 3 options for us. We got the Linear, the Clicky and the Tactile, and I chose the latter one simply because I wanted something quiet, but still I wanted to get some feedback too, and I would say that they do deliver on that. While being a bit mushy, here's what they sound like. How do you test? God damn it, the angle is bad. So how do you test the gaming keyboard? Since I already got CSGO up and running on my gaming PC, why not try some CSGO? Let's give it a go. I wanted to show you guys, this is the keyboard I've been using for the past 2 months now, the AM Pro 2. Look at the size difference. Wow. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. The layout and everything feels a bit weird, not gonna lie though. Let's do diffusal. Come on, bet down, don't let me down. What mouse am I currently using? So currently I'm using the R58 Ninja. I do also have the Ultralight 2 sitting here. Not a hugest fan of it. Alright. Wow. Nice, I like it. Oh, we're off for a good start. Shall we do it? MP9, what do you say, guys? Let's do it. God, I hate this weapon. God, I hate this weapon. Alright, I have some footsteps. Might just be my teammate, I don't know. Seem like a dead end. Let's go this way. Let's do this. Let's do it now. On a second thought, let's get out of here. Let's leave the basement. Let's go outside. I wanted to go outside. Whoa. Alright, let's go outside again. I'd rather be outside. Next. Next. God damn it. My initial thoughts, it's kind of good. It's not that bad actually. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. I like the fast travel. It feels super fast. But I gotta be honest, I'm not the hugest fan of the slippery keycaps. They are very smooth however, which is a good thing I think. He's gone. But we got another one over here. Nice. Next. Now about the mushiness, the tactile feeling is not as prominent as I was hoping. There is a small, very subtle bump towards the bottom, but I was hoping for something a little bit more distinct. Now since I've been using the AM Pro, I'm coming from the GATERON Brown, which has those specific characteristics I just mentioned. Maybe it's just me being a bit picky right now, and I'm sure most people will find the tactile just perfect. But if you try these switches out, I would love to hear your thoughts. And overall, I actually think this is a very good keyboard until I get reminded of its price tag. $200 MSRP is a lot to ask. I don't know guys, I think it's a hefty price, but at the same time you're also getting a lot of things right. Now if you have been waiting for something like the G815, something sleek, thin with RGB media buttons and micro keys, yeah, this is probably the best one out there. However, if you don't use macros and you don't care about the media buttons, I rather recommend Cooler Master SK60 instead, coming in at around $150. It's a bit cheaper and it uses Cherry MX low profile switches, which I honestly rate a bit higher, but again, that's just my 2 cents. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. If you have any questions, guys, you know what to do, drop them in the comments and I'm gonna do my best to help you guys out. In the meantime, watch either of these 2 videos for more awesome content. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, you have an awesome day, right?